Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and boy, what a fun, tall poster here from 1961. A colorful, original globe, oversized window card for a bunch of, pop and R&B stars we're all very familiar with. Now, Globe Poster in Baltimore and other poster printers of the time would make what they call jumbo window cards. I've blogged a slew of them, but this is a tall boy. This is crazy. This is 22 inches wide by 36 inches tall, making it 3 feet tall. I mean, what kind of windows would you need? I've got to practically bend the thing to get it on the viewfinder. I guess I should, rather I could shoot a blog like this, but nah, not going to do it because we have to be able to read everything on there, So here we've got those, you can see in the venue information, Knoxville, Tennessee, from the fall of 1961. And then of course you can see this is a tour blank, so that means it exists from other cities. And the very top of the yellow area there, most unusual slug line, it's called the Battle of the Century. Jackie Wilson versus Jerry Lee Lewis. Wow, so that's I've never seen that, and that certainly is taking the the boxing style term for these posters to the nth extreme, I guess, a literal extreme, if you will, by pairing them up against each other and saying it's a bout practically, So, but this thing is just gorgeous, I'll keep focusing on the color area. It's like this tall Christmas tree, isn't it? Even though it's only October, it's not Christmas themed, but it's this tall red and blue-green from top to bottom, all on a really nice sparkling yellow background. I mean, it just sings. It's just it's really, they're flat colors, they're not day glow, but it's really, it just pops beautifully in person. It's just amazing. And if you take those, as I mentioned, the yellow and the red and the blue-green, and then you throw in white lettering much of the time, which is the color of the cardboard. And up top, we got some black lettering on there as well, and then up top you got the blue lettering. Oh my goodness, what's that? Six color look here for Globe poster, presentation. They really knew how to get the most out of a minimum number of colors, and this poster here is a very good example. Wow. And you get to see this spectacular show, as you can see there from the venue information, once again, all for $3, or in the cheap seats, only $2. Wow, just, such a deal. Okay, so who won, right? Who won? Battle of the Century between the two, between the two headliners. And how did the MC even conduct it? When you stop to think about it, that's kind of funny. By the way, he is, in the green stripe down there, down in the lower left, he is credited the MC. As you can see, it's Bill Murphy, MC. And, how did, did they really ham it up, or was it merely a marketing slug line that once the show got going, it was just a regular concert? I don't know. But boy, I'll tell you, the two headliners were just absolutely dynamic stage performers, no doubt about it. I mean, Jerry Lee Lewis was releasing records as Jerry Lee Lewis and his pumping piano, and just really rocking it like Little Richard and stuff, a tremendously dynamic stage performer. And then heavens, Jackie Wilson was just astonishing on stage. When Michael Jackson won his Grammy Award for Thriller for Album of the Year, at the ceremony on stage he thanked Jackie Wilson and gave him credit for being a tremendous influence. And I believe that Berry Gordy, the founder of Motown Records, actually once said, perhaps in his autobiography, that Jackie Wilson was the most exciting R&B or stage performer he'd ever seen, and Gordy oversaw Motown's stable. So wow, Now, interestingly, so I mean, we'd all give anything to go back in time and see this show, but it was 1961. So interestingly, from a hit record perspective, kind of like nobody can say they were in their prime. I'm just being totally frank with you here. There was only one person on this poster that had a big, a really big hit record at the time, and it was his only hit. So I'll get to him in a second, see if you can guess him. But rock and roll in 1961 was in total recession, sort of like a real numbing lull. It's quite well known to music historians, and 1960 to 63 was sort of a dead patch of, teen idols and novelty hits and girl groups, until Bob Dylan, the Beach Boys, and the Beatles came along and really shook things to its core. So I guess I'm going to have to leave out sort of my trademark, oh my God, what great career timing for some of these artists. But that's okay, I'm just being frank with you. And each musician is credited with one song title, and you can see him if I get a little bit closer in. For Jackie Wilson, it says Coming Home, and that was a non-charter for him. And for Jerry Lee Lewis, it says Lovin' Up a Storm, and that also was a total non-charter for him. In fact, Jerry Lee had not seen a top 20 hit in like 3.5 years because of the scandal surrounding marrying his cousin, as you know. Then you've got Ruth Brown on there, always a nice thing to be on a nice thing. A nice person to turn up on a poster because she so owned R&B in the 1950s. And it says Papa Daddy, and that was also a non-charter for her. In fact, Ruth would not chart again. Her charting days were over by 1961. Then you've got the coasters, and Girls, Girls, the real song title has a third Girls in there, which they left out. Only number 96 pop, so no big deal at all. But earlier in 61, they did have a minor hit with Little Egypt, which a lot of us know and love to this day. You know, if I'm talking about earlier in the year 61, I should have mentioned that Jackie Wilson actually had a couple of hits earlier in 1961 himself, both top 10 rhythm and blues and top 20 pop. Then you've got Bo Diddley on there. Always great to see him on a poster, that's for sure. Call Me is the song title given. Did not chart for Bo, but then again, he was not a singles charting artist. Much more just an influential great 50s R&B artist, so we don't really count singles so much with Bo Diddley. And then, ta-da! You've got Chris Kenner, and his song title is I Like It Like That. And yes, that was a #2 smash evergreen for Chris Kenner, covered by tons of people. I think within 5 years, the Dave Clark 5 had a big hit with it and so forth. The name of the place is I Like It Like That. And then you've got the vibrations on there, and it does say Watusi for them. That was a minor hit, but do not confuse that with the Orlon's big hit, Watusi. And then at the very end of the poster, I'd like to give credit all the way around, it does say Bill Parker and his orchestra. And like every good or bad, there aren't any bad Globe posters. At the bottom in the white margin, it does say Globe Poster of Baltimore. So, wow, the battle of the century. I'm going to call it a draw. I think it was probably a draw. I mean, they're both dynamic performers. It'd be nice to dig up an old newspaper review, you know, from the day after for the shows on this tour to see what the the newspaper music critics had to say, if they played up the, picking a winner, or if it was just another, fun concert. Very much a product of its day. And boy, even though the hit singles were coming out from these guys at the time, it would have been just so much fun. And boy, to take home a souvenir poster, how great would that have been? So anyway, this was an advertising piece, though, meant to last just a few weeks and be thrown away. And luckily, this one from Knoxville, Tennessee, survived. So hope you enjoyed seeing it today. If you see it from any other city, please let me know. I'd like to make note of it and get a picture of it. And thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you next time for something soon. Okay, bye-bye.